So, Section 3. Section 3, we have 2D and 3D shapes. So, you do have a formula sheet from this unit that you'll get to use once again. I will have spare copies, but if you have your copy, please have that for your convenience when the test day comes. So, number 1, the cover of a hot tub shown is a regular pentagon. If the side length is 3 feet and the apothem is 4.13 feet, then find the area of the lid. So, if we remember right, the formula for a regular pentagon is 1/2 apothem times perimeter. The apothem is 4.13. That's given. The perimeter is not quite given to us, but we know that one side is 3 feet. Okay, so the whole perimeter is 15. How I got that was taking 3 and timesing it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. Now we have all our information to find the area. 4.13 times 15 divided by 2. So we have an area of 40, well, I put 30.98 feet squared. So once again, 1/2 apothem times perimeter is the formula for a regular pentagon. Number 2. Find the area of the shaded basketball key below. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So all I want us to do is find the area of the shaded part. Now, we have this subtracted out of it. So this isn't shaded, so we need to subtract that out of the area of the rectangle. So to figure this out, we do rectangle minus circle. That will give me my final answer. My rectangle is a 20 by 10. Now, let's talk about this circle. We all know the formula for a circle, which is on your formula sheet, is pi r squared. So we need to figure out what the radius of this circle is. Good news is that I know from here to here is also 10. What's that 10 represent? Well, it represents the diameter of our circle. So we know the radius is going to equal 5. So now we plug in our formula, pi 5 squared. So we end up with 200. (25 times pi is 78.5. To get our final answer, obviously I need to subtract that from our rectangle. 200 minus 78.5 is 121.5 feet squared. Number 3. Number 3, we're finding the surface area for the oatmeal container below. We obviously know that this oatmeal container is a cylinder. The formula for a surface area of a cylinder is the following. 2 pi r squared, this is on your formula sheet, plus 2 pi r h. So we need to know two things to be able to plug into this formula. We need to know the radius and we need to know the height. The radius equals 4.5 because this 9 is technically the diameter. Height equals 16. Let's plug in 2 times pi times 4.5 squared plus 2 pi r times 16. Two pi times 4.5 squared plus 2 pi times 4.5 times 16 . 579.6. I know, that's what I'm looking at right now. Yes, final is multiple choice. That is the correct answer. Sorry, this is the correct answer, not what's on the board. I forgot the 2 in the very beginning on my key. So 579.6 centimeters squared. Yeah, the same formula sheet from the test. Number 4. The volume of a volleyball is approximately 381.7 inches cubed. Find the diameter of this volleyball. So, a volleyball we all know is a sphere. Okay, the formula for a volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. They tell me the volume is 381.7. We don't quite know the radius. Technically, we're trying to find the diameter. Once I find the radius, am I going to be able to find the diameter? Yeah. So, let's rock this out. First thing I'm going to do is divide by 4/3. So, 381.7. We're going to divide by 4/3. Most of us have a fraction button that you can use. Or, I would recommend putting that fraction in parentheses. you're going to get 286.25. Let's just call it 3 pi r cubed. Now I need to divide that by pi. And I get 91.1 equals r cubed. Now, we haven't really seen an r cubed, but we all know how to get rid of an r squared. We square root it. How do you get rid of a cubed? You cube root it. So, on your calculator, right above the caret sign, please locate the button that looks like this. It has an X and then a square root sign. So what we're going to do is you're going to hit our index first, which is 3, and then you're going to hit that button. Then we want to cube root this, but we have it already in our calculator, so you can use the answer button. Press enter. You end up with a radius of 4.5. So a diameter of 9. That number is the correct number. This one, please. Okay, let's look at number 5. You are moving to a different place and need a big U-Haul truck to transport all your belongings. You were able to fit all your belongings into moving boxes that were 2 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. The U-Haul truck is approximately 6 feet by 9 feet by 12 feet. How many boxes do you think will be able to fit into the U-Haul? Volume or surface area? Volume. Okay? Volume. Good news is they're just rectangular prisms, so we just take the 3 numbers and we multiply them together. So first, we have the boxes, and we have the U-Haul. Our boxes are 2 by 3 by 3. So let's multiply all those numbers together and get 18. The U-Haul is 6 by 9 by 12. $648. So how do you figure out how many boxes fill that U-Haul? Well, divide. $36 feet. 36 boxes, I'm sorry. So 36 boxes will fit in that U-Haul. Number 6. Find the surface area of the water tank without a top. Okay? So we want to get rid of the top, and we also don't count this guy right here. This circle of the cone. So technically we are not going to include any of the bases. So we have a cylinder and we have a cone. Formula for a cylinder is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. And our cone is pi r squared plus 2 pi r L. The 2 pi r squared, that represents the two bases. Are we going to include the bases? No. So we do not do that part of the formula. The pi r squared, what's that represent? Once again, the base of the cone. We're not going to include that. So all we're going to do is the 2 pi r h and the 2 pi r L. Could someone... Does anyone have their formula sheet on them? There's no 2 on that. Yep. Okay. So the cylinder is 2 pi r h. The 16 is the diameter, so r is 8. The height of the cylinder is 14. Plus, now the cone, pi r, which is once again 8, and the slant height, which is 6. Plug that all in your calculator and you end up with 552.9 feet squared. Number 7. Find the volume of the prism. By the way, volume of a prism is BH, with B being a triangle.
Mr. Fisher?
Yeah?
Us here got like 854.5.
I'll check that in a second, okay? Let's just finish up this video. Number 7, we have B times H, where B is a triangle. So that's 1/2 base times height. And my height of my prism is 12. What's the base of this triangle? It is 6. What is the height of this triangle? It is 8. So we have 1/2, 8 times 6. So B is 24. Now that we know the height and we know the area of the base, let's multiply those two numbers together. 24 times 12, 288. Number 8. At the top of Washington Monument is a small square pyramid. The pyramid has a height of 34 feet with base edges of 26 feet. So here's our base. 26, 26, 26, 26. The height, so that's from here up, is 34 feet. We know the formula for a pyramid is 1/3 big B H. Do you already know the height? 34 feet. Big B is going to be 26 times 26. $676. So now I have everything. Big B, I have the height. Let's plug in 1/3 times 676 times 34. God, I suck today, don't I?
Yeah.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, you do.
7,661.3 feet. I'm just referring to those. Number 9. Number 9. The two containers to the right are filled with popcorn. But how many times as much popcorn does the larger container hold? It's holding something, so I need to use the volume formula. Volume of a cylinder. Which is pi r squared times h. So let's figure out the volume of the small guy. The small guy has a radius of 3.25, because that's the diameter, and it has a height of 8. Let's plug it in. .25 squared times 8 times pi. We end up with 265.5. Let's do the large guy. That one has a radius of 5.1 and a height of 8. pi r squared 5.1 times 8 we end up with 653.7. If I need to figure out how much more that this holds, we're obviously going to take this number and we're going to divide by the smaller guy and get approximately 2.5 times more. Number 10, the volume of the prism is 192 centimeters cubed. If the base of the right triangle has legs measuring 6 and 8, what is the height of the prism? We know volume, once again, is big B times H. Big B is a triangle, so that's 1/2 base times height. They tell me the base and the height. They tell me that it's a 6 and a 8. So let's find big B real quick. Big B equals 1/2 8 times 6. So big B is 24. And they want us to find the height of the prism. We know the volume is 192. We know big B is 24. Now we need to find the height. Divide by 24. You'll get your height right away. 8. Number 11. What is the area of the shaded region? So I have a square that I need to subtract the circle from. What's the dimensions of the square? Well, if I extend this all the way over, this is also 9.5. So my square is a 19 by 19. Let's subtract the circle. So pi r squared, so 9.5 squared. 19 times 19 is 361. 9.5 squared times pi, 283.5. Subtract those two numbers together, and we end up with 77.5 meters squared. Number 12. Dr. Cheney is buying a tent that is in shape of a rectangular pyramid. We have a base of 5 by 7. If the tent holds 74 cubic feet of air, how tall is the tent? Center pull. Well, we have a pyramid with a rectangular, so we know the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 big B H. We know the volume. It is 74 cubic feet. Do we technically know big B? Do we know the area of the base? Of course. The base is a 7 by 5 rectangle, so the area is 35. We need to find the height. Let's times everything by 3 to get the fraction. 3 times 74 is 222. So once again, I times everything by 3 so that fraction would go away. Now I'm going to divide by 35 and end up with 6.3 feet. Find the volume of the cone. Well, volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared height, but they did not give us the radius, did they? So guess what we're going to have to use? Pythagorean theorem to find the radius. Where this is my C. And I just... So, 6 squared equals 4.8 squared plus r squared. I am trying to find that piece right there using this right triangle. 36 equals 4.8 squared, which is 23.04. 36 minus 23.04 is 12.96. Let's square root that to find our radius. Our radius is 3.6. Do I know my height? Yep, it's 4.8. Do I know my radius? Yep, 3.6. I have everything I need. Let's plug it in to our formula. .6 squared times pi times 4.8 divided by 3. We end up with 65.1. For some reason I just put down the radius. $14 is a pretty simple one. Find the approximate volume of a baseball whose diameter is 8 inches. That's just a plug and chug into the formula 4/3 pi r cubed, with r being 4. 4/3 pi 4 cubed. Everyone knows about the caret button? That caret button does any exponent bigger than 2. So we're going to do caret 3. And end up with 268.1 inches cubed. And finally, number 15. It's a hemisphere that we need to find the volume. Which is 2/3 pi r cubed is the formula. With r being 18. So I end up with 12,214.5 meters cubed. Okay, that's it for section 3. I will start section 4 next. Ugh, I wasn't done.